why your best employees are still doing low value work.
So I think what you find as well is as businesses grow, as all businesses hope to do, as you grow, the amount of work that you have to do as a business increases. And if you get to a point where you can't take more work on without bringing more personnel in to help actually do that work, your pay on payroll is going to rise at an equal rate to what your income is, which isn't going to help your business grow at all. In fact, it might do the opposite to it if payroll might far exceed what the increasing custom is that you're getting. So it may get to a point where it's not profitable to grow as a business because you can't do it. And that is where you need to start reviewing, well, what are my team actually doing at the moment, day to day? Because if we can't streamline this to speed it up, this is going to completely hamper the growth of the business. We're not going to be able to go anywhere with this. And we're going to be stuck in this sort of equal step of more business, more personnel, more business, more personnel. There is obviously always going to be a point where, as you grow, you need more personnel. That is natural. But if it has to grow at an equal rate, you've got a problem, because you need to have workflows in place for your work that can scale regardless of how many customers, how many projects it's actually manning. If you are spending 10 hours a week chasing down project managers, trying to get latest updates on projects so we can update KPI reports, that is going to turn into 15 hours when you've got more projects. That's going to turn into 20 hours. It's going to turn into 30 hours. And you're going to need more people doing the same thing. Whereas that's where you need to start looking at your process improvement, embedding of applications, workflows, automations. So rather than somebody having to track down all that information, instead, that whole aspect of chasing down the information and getting what you need is automated. The expectation is on the person with the data to provide it through a mechanism that works. That employee that was then chasing for all of that information before can now just take that data that's given to them and do what they need to do with it. It may be now they've got the time to do a lot more with that information rather than just collating the information and presenting it to managers or however they might be using that information. Instead, they can take that data and they can start analysing it. Let's look into some insights that we can pull from this data to see what this actually means, rather than just saying, this is it. We can now start saying, well, this is it, and this is what it tells us, because we've got the time to be able to start doing that now.
Yeah, and for businesses, it really links back into the productivity per person metric. So if you was doing, you're a 20 user company and you've got, in manufacturing, let's say, you pay your employees X amount, that's your wage bill, and you get a Y amount in income. If you just scaled normally, you'll just go one new person equals slight increase in income, another new person, another increase in income, etc. You could probably correlate that. But what technology does, especially AI and automation, is it improves that productivity per person. So it allows you to scale better. So that 20-person business, suddenly, when they've got AI and automation in half their processes, instead of making 100 grand per person, let's say, with technology, they can turn that into 200 grand per person. And they don't have to increase their salary spend or their salary commitment. Just invest in technology.